Are the police doing enough to combat what is going on in our society? Now, just over a week ago, I was a victim of what they would call attempted robbery. Basically, this means if someone's tried to rob you, it's an attempted robbery before they're convicted, blah, blah, blah. So, story went something like this. So, I was minding my business, walking to work, 12 midday in central London, and I was walking towards, if anybody knows where Warren Street is, minding my business, and there are a lot of people in that area because of university students, and it's very busy, hospital and all of that kind of stuff. They always ask, can I have some money and all of that kind of stuff, and I'm like, no, I don't have money. I don't tend to carry cash with me because I know for myself I end up spending it on junk food or whatever. And yeah, so I'm here minding my business. I walk this way almost every single day, and these guys just came out of nowhere. I was just strolling, and these guys, a black guy and an Asian guy. The black guy came up to me and was like, can I have some money please, like we're just in a bit of trouble. And I was like, no, sorry, like I've got to work and I'm really late right now. So I kept walking, and then as I'm walking I feel my shoulder, like a hand on my shoulder. I'm thinking, what's going on? Like, I was like, how can I help you? Like, what's the problem? And the guy was like, listen, usually I'm a bit rough and I'm being nice to you. All I'm asking is for you to help me out. And I was like, but I've just said I don't have the money to help you out. And and then he's like, started telling me all these things that they do about breaking people's cars, getting in fights and all this kind of stuff. And he's being calm with me. He's asking me nicely if I can help him. And I was like, what do you need help for? And he was telling me about how him and his friend have just lost £500 from a betting shop, William Hill. And I was like, right, okay, I'm not from around here, so I can't really help you. I don't know how to get around from here. Obviously I do, but I don't know these people. And then, yeah, start going on about how he does all of this kind of stuff, and I'm thinking, Now, if you're a person like me who reads a lot of news, you hear about, especially even in the last few weeks, Michael McIntyre minding his business in his car with his son on a school run, and someone smashes into his car, takes his Rolex watch, all of this kind of stuff. And even a few weeks ago there was another one of a couple who were at traffic lights, and some kids on motorbikes decided to jump in their car, smash their windows, ended up in hospital, and many more. And I'm thinking to myself, this guy's been aggressive, I've read all these news stories, what's going to happen to me? And alarm bells started ringing in my head. And yeah, so there was this black guy walking right next to me, standing right here, and then his friend, an Asian guy, was probably like 10 yards behind me. He didn't say much at all. And I said, all right, how can I help you? I can buy you a drink of water or something, which I probably in hindsight shouldn't have done, but in my head I was just thinking I need to get out of the situation very quickly. If I give them water, off I go to work. And we're like, okay. And then we decided to walk. I said, there's a Tesco literally around the corner, and because I know the area quite well. And he was like, and then as we were walking there, he's like, oh bro, can you like take £20 for us? And I'm thinking, £20 for both of you, he said. And I was like, nah, like I haven't even been paid yet. And then the guy's like, oh, listen, like I'm mad, I'm being nice to you today. All I'm asking is like £20 for both of us. And I'm thinking, do I look like I'm Barclays? If my name was Barclays, I would have helped you out, but I'm not. So we kept walking and walking, and he was telling me asking me bare questions, and I was just like, listen, all I said, I'll help you, I'll buy you some water or whatever. If you need to get help or whatever, someone else can probably help you with that, but personally, I cannot, because I don't budget for you, I don't know you, do you know what I mean? And yeah, so we kept walking, and then as soon as we're getting near to Tesco, we're crossing the road, and the guy's like, oh, you know what, bro, like, I'm feeling kind of hungry today, it'll be better if you get me some pizza. I'm thinking, pizza? And this guy's pointing down some alleyway down the road, and I'm thinking, nah, no pizza for you today, bro. I was like, I don't have that kind of money. He's like, if you're gonna help us, at least help us properly. And I was thinking, the cheek. First you're calling me bro. I don't know if bros treat each other like this. If that's the respect thing, like, what's your issue? But obviously the way I'm speaking now is not the way I was speaking that day, because you don't know what these guys have in their pockets. Do they have knives? Do they have whatever? And I'm just thinking I need to get out of this situation because I don't know what could happen. It could escalate. So in my head I'm thinking, what should I do? So then there was a McDonald's there, and I walked straight to McDonald's and I said, listen, I can't give you pizza, but I can offer you McDonald's, innit? And I walked into McDonald's, and then both of them stood outside the front door, and they were like, oh, listen, I don't think we're at McDonald's, like, if you could just withdraw cash for us. And I'm like, no, I'm not withdrawing cash for you. I'm offering you something. If you're at McDonald's, I can come in here. And then if anyone goes into McDonald's quite regularly, they've got these new like self-checkout tills, so you choose what you want, you pay, you go to the till. And I was like, nah, I'm not using that, we'll go to the till. And then we went to the till, and both of them started waffling, like they didn't know what they were ordering, obviously because they didn't want food, they wanted money. And the guy ordered some mad meal, and the guy behind the cashier was like, sorry, we don't do that kind of stuff. And then he asked for like a meal with a voucher, but he didn't have a voucher. So how are they supposed to give you a meal for a voucher when you haven't got a voucher? I don't know. And so yeah, and then him and his friend, long story short, they ordered their food, came up to like £14. And I was like, okay, let me get my card out. I literally quickly tapped it, and I was like, cool, your food is gonna come, so I'm off, see you later. And then the guy's like, bro, could you please withdraw some cash for us? I'm thinking, I'm just giving you food, and now you're asking for cash. Are you alright? Like, is everything okay? And yeah, so I quickly just walked out, ran to Warren Street train station, and I never looked back. But that 15-20 minute ordeal, whatever it was scary, because I was thinking, what if these guys pull out a knife? So that's why I said to myself, let me go to the most public place, because in McDonald's there's bare people in there. And yeah, and then managed to just escape from it, because if I just went to a cash machine, they'll probably be like, oh, £20, £40 is not enough, take out £500, and then threaten me even more. Like, come on, mate. So luckily I just used a bit of willpower, which I had in my tank left from that situation. So yeah, that's where it ended really. And I think I didn't bother to speak about this, but I think the only reason I have made a video of this is because just a few days ago I saw the story of J Hus. Many of you may know who J Hus is. He's a musician. He did that song Did You See What I Done and all of that kind of stuff. And he was taken into custody after he was pulled over by police just a few days ago on the weekend. And when the police took them out, apparently the car they were in was marked, and he was found with a knife in his pocket. Now, I have seen a lot of conversations on Twitter, people saying, you don't understand, you're not black, to people who have commented on these. I haven't bothered to comment on these posts, and people are like, oh, you don't know what J Hus has been through, which is fair, because he's been stabbed before. So he's now in a position where people could potentially harm him, but he's a very, very good musician. He's got money now. So in terms of J Hus, he, of course, I reckon he does have the capital, and I think if he is let go at some point, him and his team will have to consider the different options that would be best for him in terms of security. So I don't think carrying a knife is great long term, and it might not work out the way he'd want it to. In this situation anyway, he didn't do anything to anyone, but it's the fact that he has one. He has to pay for it, and there are repercussions for carrying these. It's just a weapon, really. He wasn't using it to butter bread. It could have been to kill someone. You never know. But that being said, I think from the community perspective, I'm personally not from London, and these things don't really occur where I'm from. But I think the opportunities that people get in life, I think they need to be established, and there needs to be more things done in community centres, people reaching out to others, people reaching out to these people and the families where they come from, because sometimes you could be going to a good school, you could have good friends around you, but if people in your family are influencing you in a certain way, or the friends that you're around, to get money quickly by committing crimes, then it's going to be a never-ending cycle. I don't think it's going to be eradicated overnight, and I think it's something that we have to work from the bottom scale, from when they're very, very young, to encourage them to do things which will help them in life. So yeah, I think that will help the police massively, and it'll help ourselves in the communities so that crime levels do go down eventually at some point. I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't think I have the perfect solution, but in terms of people feeling safe, these are the things that probably have to start from the ground up. It's got to come from us and people who live in the areas, because if we sit back and wait for the police to do their thing, they don't have the manpower, they don't have enough people to be going out there. Because if they're specifically just to focus on one case, what about all of those other people that need looking after, that need their cases to be looked at? It's a never-ending cycle, so we have to help them and help ourselves. I think that's the only way these things are ever gonna eradicate and help themselves. So yeah, that's just my thoughts on it. Let me know what you think. Make sure you subscribe as well, like and comment. Let me know what you think. Should the police do better? Of course, I shouldn't be asking that. What do you think the police should do to make the situation even better for those, especially who live in the capital, who are going through a lot right now in terms of fear, safety, opportunities, the police, the government? I mean, we can always say the government should do this and that, but the government have so many other things to do, and we can at least try and do something in the community to help ourselves in the meantime before even more funding comes. So yeah, that's just my take on it. Hope to see you guys soon, and make sure you subscribe, share as well, and would love to know what you think. So yeah, take care.